At Bellwether Enterprise, we pride ourselves on living up to our company tagline, which is Capital on a Mission. And for this episode of Mission Control, the Bellwether Enterprise Podcast, I talk with Bellwether Chief Administrative Officer Denise McGee to introduce and discuss the company's latest mission-focused endeavor, the BWE Foundation. Welcome back to another episode of Mission Control, the Bellwether Enterprise Podcast. And we're here to speak on something that's new, exciting, just in time for the summer. I've got my watermelon shirt on. We're finally recording back in person for the first time in a while. Haven't had any videos or podcasts live in action. So it's great to kind of get back to some normalcy. But we're going to be talking about the BWE Foundation. It's a new program or 501c3, and Denise, you'll speak a little bit in depth about how it got started and why we started it and all that kind of thing. But like I said, it's exciting stuff. Something that kind of you were explaining before when this all kind of got underway, that a lot of it was motivated from feedback from employees, which is exciting as well to kind of have that connection directly with everybody at the company. So I guess with that, thanks for sitting down with me here. I guess first question is, if you can kind of summarize big picture, how this foundation kind of got underway. I think it's been almost a year now. So yeah, I guess from there, take it from there.
Okay, thanks, Ryan. The foundation got started because we at Bellwether believe that actions speak louder than words. So as many of you know, we're not one to just go around and talk the talk. We like to really put actions behind what we're doing and meaning, and we like to make a difference. Therefore, we heard from employees last year. We heard from managers. We've heard from a variety of different folks. And the concept really came about jointly from everybody. And we took the concept to reality in less than a year, and we've already awarded scholarships. Now, the foundation is broader than just focusing on the educational side. It really focuses on educational opportunities for students, and I'll go into a little bit more detail about the scholarship program. And then we're also building on a social impact piece where we're going to be partnering with developers and improving the lives and the communities for our residents through a variety of different means. More to come on that later. But today we're here really to focus on the educational side of it.
Right. So, and that's the thing too. And there's a lot of different offices, especially here in Ohio. Our Cleveland HQ is our biggest office, and we have ties to some universities. Same with down in Columbus at Ohio State, things like that. So we have some connections with people already here at Bellwether who work with the universities. Talk, I guess, about how that concept kind of expanded and what we're trying to do with, across the entire country and get more people involved in the ways that, we've done some things already, how we're trying to expand that, I guess is the question.
Yep. So we have done a variety of things with schools already. So prior to the foundation even being formed, we have worked with schools on building out their real estate curriculum. We've done case studies. We've awarded prizes to students. And we have our own team members teaching or presenting or speaking at the various schools across the country, because as you know, we're nationwide. So we have our feelers out. With the foundation, we wanted to start smaller, and we wanted to select a handful of schools that we could specifically partner with, and then continue to expand it out and take the concepts that we've learned from all the other avenues that we've been doing with schools already and potentially build upon that, because it's a partnership with the schools and all the schools that want to develop real estate programs. What we're finding is a lot of students, particularly underrepresented students, aren't aware of even the opportunities that are available within the commercial real estate industry. So whether they come to work for Bellwether or they come to understand more about the developer side of the equation or the lender side of the equation, we want to get people more familiar with what the real estate industry is all about, and broaden the horizon there for folks.
Yeah, and I think that was a good thing that I noticed that was kind of exciting is, a lot of times we see, and alumni here have direct ties with their universities, and, we have a lot of alumni from certain schools and things like that. So maybe schools that we don't have alumni or aren't, that plugged in at Bellwether or even the industry, a lot of the, opportunities, like you mentioned, some of the kids don't even know that they exist. But this, I think, is a cool way to introduce some people. And I think some of the essays, which kind of talk about the scholarship process, how those, individuals were selected, and more to come on our social medias about each recipient as well. But, I think and we talked about the committee as well. Don't let me forget to ask about that, about how that all came about. But it was mentioned to me about how, one of the applicants, I think it was, like, they weren't even really sure what was going on with commercial real estate and the opportunities there, but they heard about the scholarship opportunity. They wanted to get more involved. And, it's like kind of showing what opportunities are even out there for people who go to schools that might not be plugged in already. So it's kind of expanding in that way too, which is kind of cool.
Exactly. And the very first thing we did under the foundation is built the scholarship program. And for us, it's not just about the monetary awards. So we're going to grant and give out $10,000 scholarships to students that the advisory committee and the board approves upon each year. So we would like to do at least a minimum of 10 scholarships a year. If we can do more or less, depends on the candidates and the quality. But at a minimum, we'd like to try and do at least 10 per year. And it's beyond the monetary. So the committee, which is made up of Bellwether employees, all passionate about making a difference in the community, in schooling and education, cross-functional, all different departments, came together and they really helped us push this program along. So we have literally identified, built out the application process, the website, selected the students. They had to write essays. We've contacted schools, started advertising it out there. And we're excited, to your point, to say that we are going to be granting 6 scholarships this year to students. We started a little bit late, which is why we don't have 10 this year, but we are looking to ramp that up to at least 10 next year. But then beyond that, not only will they get the $10,000 for the fall school year, 21-22 school year, but we're also committed to doing listen and learn sessions where they get to hear once a month about different parts of our organization, different aspects of commercial real estate from people that are living it and breathing it day in and day out, as well as the advisory committee is going to mentor the students. So we've got a strong partnership on how we're going to mentor the students as they go throughout their school year so that they get to feel real life connection, not just from the books, but what it's like to be in the real estate industry. And then at the end of the school year, there's a potential for them to have a paid internship with us so they can literally get hands-on experience in one of our local offices.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, like I said, being an employee, I wasn't really involved I wasn't on the committee or anything like that. But so I kind of just heard bits and pieces as the process kind of went along and started growing and fine tuning everything. And as an employee, it's exciting to see like that we're actually doing things to help, not just, like you said, not just, send scholarship money, but get these students acclimated into the industry and, with professionals who have been in the industry for decades and things like that. It's pretty cool.
And one thing that we'd like to do to expand on the program, so beyond the scholarships, we're literally building out a longer-term 5-year strategic plan right now for the whole foundation. And one of the things that we want to do is help partner with other schools on how they can build out real estate curriculum if they don't have it, or we can take what we've learned from the schools that we've already partnered with and potentially bring those case studies into different schools, because our goal is to help educate more students around the real estate industry.
If you can talk about how, obviously you mentioned feedback from employees and things like that, but how did this all come together step by step from the concept to, raising the funds? Obviously is a big part of it. You got to kind of have the funds to give the scholarships and that thing. If you can kind of speak on how that all step by step throughout the process over the past, I think it was 10 months or so, maybe a little bit more, how that all kind of came to be.
Mm-hmm. Again, it started from concept. We knew what we wanted to do. We started with our 2 broad areas of focus, which are the social impact, partnering with our developers in the communities for all low-income participants and residents, and then the educational side. And from there, once we built that, we applied for the 501c3, literally went step by step, getting all that. Once we were we had all of our letters of notification from the government. Then we literally went out and internally advertised it to our Bellwether board, to our employees, and asking for donations for the foundation. And we had a resounding response from our employees, and our CEO actually matched up to the first 50,000 that came in, and we exceeded the 50,000. So it's been great to see how we've done it so far. And we also created a PayPal so that if anyone went out to our website, not just the students, but if anyone else went out to it, they would be able to donate and we could solicit funds that way. This year, so last year, it was really just kind of getting it up and running and just trying to get our first pass at students to walk through what this whole process would entail. Now, this next year, the next few years, we're really trying to grow and expand and advertise more and do fundraising events outside of just our Bellwether employees. So there will be a lot more to come on that. And we have set up with our Bellwether Foundation, BWE Foundation, we've got 4 committees. So we not only have the advisory committee made up of all of our employees, but we have each of our board members sponsoring a committee. So we've got an investment committee. So as the funds come in, how are we investing the money in the right way so we can sustain ourselves long term? We've got a grant committee. How are we making sure that we're giving the grants and the money to the students and to the social impact areas that really need it? So we've got a group that's focused on that. We've got a group that's focused on how we continue to provide hands-on experience for people that are recipients of our scholarships. And then we've also got the fundraising or the development side, which is a big piece of how we want to go out and, like I said, our goal is to, over the next 5 years, bring in over $2 million so we can sustain it long term.
Well, thanks for that great summary of everything. I think it's, kind of mentioning, came together in less than a year. I think it's awesome to hear that you come up with a concept, and now we have 6 recipients of scholarships that just got notified a couple weeks back that they're going to be joining this program. It's pretty great. So thanks again for explaining this. We'll definitely be back with the 6 recipients on our social medias to give an introduction of them and hear their excitement, hopefully, on their receiving of the scholarships. And then also, stay tuned for the second piece. We talked about the scholarships and the education, but also the social impact, Denise, that you mentioned. We're going to get into a future episode and get into the details about what that all means going forward as well. So thanks again. Appreciate it.